Hello everybody, welcome to my live. How's everybody tonight? I'm Laura Roderick. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas, where it is hot but sunny and beautiful. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Leave me a comment, say hello, let me know where you're from. I come live on Tuesdays just about every Tuesday, although right now in the summer it's a little more sporadic with a lot of stuff going on. But I like to stamp with you guys and have a lot of fun, show you some new ideas, a couple new techniques. So thanks for tuning in. All right, I'm trying to think if I have anything to report. Not really. It's been crazy, a lot of travel this summer. Just got back from Arizona about a week ago and working, leaving again this Friday for another trip, this time to Chicago. So it's just a whole lot of traveling going on. All right, well, these projects may take a minute, so I think we should just get to it and get going. So I'm going to turn my camera around and let's get started. All right, let me see what we're doing here. Anytime I'm off for a week, I feel a little weird coming back. Like, do I remember how to do this? Not sure. Hi, Jolene. Not sure if I remember. Sorry, I have to make one more adjustment because everything feels kind of loose right now. All right, how are we at? I think that's pretty good. Hopefully you guys can see everything. So I just want to remind you that through the end of the month, we're having this great sale on sweets, which is awesome. Has anybody ordered any sweets in the sale? It's been really great. You have to be careful. I'm sure you guys have heard that, you know, it's buy one, get one 50% off, but it's the lowest price item. So what I did, I placed two separate orders and I just focused on sweets for now. So in my first order, I ordered 2 sweets and then some other new online exclusives that are not part of a suite. So I got the discount on the second suite, full discount. And then I placed another order after that, and I used the Stampin' Rewards from the first order and just did 2 more sweets. So I ordered 4 sweets so far. Things that I'd been looking at and didn't have, so I'm kind of excited about that. Next, if I need some more things, I may focus on the smaller things like maybe some bundles or some more paper or gems. Yes, Jolene, right? You get the rewards when you do the second order. So that's pretty fun. I think one of the sweets I ended up paying like $28 for. It's crazy. So, you know, if you're a demonstrator, you get the extra 20% off automatically. Plus you get the sale and then you get 10% in Stampin' Rewards. So I felt like quite the little discount shopper. I was kind of pleased with everything I got for not too much money. So you can always become a demonstrator and get the discount. You don't have to demonstrate or do anything. You can just be a happy shopper, and that's fun. That's how I started out, and I just love getting a discount. So anyway, enough of that. If you have any questions, email me. I'll be happy to talk about it. Online exclusives, just a reminder there. This is, I guess I just kept this up to show you one of the sweets. Like, this is one of the sweets that I ordered, which is, it's just really fun. I can't wait to start using this and making some projects. You guys, a reminder for the album retreat, if you're a scrapbooker, if you want to be a scrapbooker, if you just think you'd like to do some nice, easy layouts for all 12 months of the year, this is a great kit. Everything's pre-cut, easy to put together. They're going to go through it on July 16th through the 18th. It'll be recorded so you can watch it later. I mean, just a really great kit. Easy to do. If you're getting back into scrapbooking or starting for the first time, nothing like starting with something that's really cute. It's adorable and it's easy because everything's pre-cut. And I think it comes with like 2 stamp sets, all kinds of things. People who have gotten, I didn't get it yet, but people who have gotten it say there's so much in this kit. And today is the last day for the Full of Charm paper pumpkin. I can't wait to get up tomorrow and see what the next month is going to be. So just a reminder about that. Yes, Jolene, Spooky Sweet, such a cute, I got that one too, such a cute sweet, right? All right, let's talk about tonight's project. So I'm using the Adventure Together with the little campers. And this isn't too recent, but it was an online exclusive. And I just thought it's summer. Let's do some summer-like projects. And I thought it was really fun. So first I have this cute little slider card. And it just says happy birthday. And then we've got the tire tracks in the back, which I thought was pretty funny. I was cracking myself up with that one. I'm like, all right, let's try that. So we made this little slider card. So that's our first card tonight. We're going to make just a nice retirement card. Now I've combined another set, and I'll show you as we get going, with the Adventure Together set. And I think it's called Adventure, it's something else with Adventure, Scenic Adventure. And I am in love with this other set too, with the mountains and the trees. It's just so pretty. So we're going to make a retirement card. We're also going to make this little cutout card, Let the Adventure Begin, and combining both sets again. So we're going to do that one. I made it another retirement. It could be happy birthday. It could be anything you like. And then I have this. We got a little s'mores treat in here. I'll show you as we get going. And using the little suitcase treat boxes, right? I love a pre-made box. It's so easy to use and so fun. So those are our projects for tonight. Let me start by showing you what we're going to use for our first project. So this is the Adventure Together bundle. Cute stamp set, right? I really love this little moon and the stars. I didn't use it on any of my projects, but I'll have to do another project because I really want to use it. I just think it's so cute. And then coordinating dies, which we use, I think we used all the dies. I think I used all the dies in the projects tonight, so that's fun. If you would like to earn the make and takes to make these projects, you need to have this bundle to make the projects. But I will send you all the cardstock pre-cut for you, the little gems, the ribbon, free if you place an order of $50 or more in my store. So I will just send you the make and takes free just as a thank you for ordering with me. If, let's say, you're a demonstrator, you don't want to order with me, you can also just purchase them outright for $22. It's nice to have a kit that you can just easily put together where some of the stuff is pre-cut for you. So that's an idea too. Okay, what else are we using? Well, here's our pieces, so let me pull these out. So I got this slider card idea. I went on Pinterest. I'm like, I knew I wanted to do a slider card with the camper. So I went online, and there was a demonstrator, Elaine Shader, from Sweet Stampin'. And so I got the kind of how to do it from her. My card is much different, but still that's kind of where I got my instruction for the slider card. Okay, so here are our pieces. We are going to start tonight with Blueberry Bushel, and this is your standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, square to 4 1/4. This one is going to open like this. Now, what I use on all the projects, every single one of them, is this gorgeous DSP. Do you guys recognize what this DSP is? This is the Everyday Skies, and it's perfect, obviously, for skies, right? I just love it. So we're going to use 4 different patterns for this. You can see all my stuff is cut up because I've been using it a lot. But these beautiful skies, they're just beautiful. The colors are pretty. You have so many choices. There's patterns on the other side, so if you're not wanting to use them all for skies, you could use them for other things. There's stars and clouds and colors and really fun paper pack. I thought this one was really pretty, and I thought this would be a great background for our first card for tonight. So we can go ahead and put this, we're going to build right on this card base. So let me put this down first. Is everybody having a good week so far this week? I feel like it's only Tuesday, but I feel like it's already been a busy week. And it is hot here. It is full on summer here. We are in the high 90s now, so it's going to be like that for a while. Okay, so there's our sky. Now, I also have a couple pieces of 5 1/4 by 4. One is going to be on the inside. One is going to be for stamping and die cutting. All right, so we've got those. On the inside, keeping it simple, all I did was add a little strip, and that's just the same DSP. I just cut another strip off. You can see how that kind of lines up there. So this is 3/4 by 4 inches, and we're just going to put it right here. And then in a little while, we're going to add another tree too and stamp inside. So that's kind of what we've got going for that. So let me just put that aside for now. Hopefully not lose it. So here are some of our other pieces that we're going to use. So I went with garden green, just doing like a basic green for green grass. And I have 3 pieces of garden green. So I have this piece, which is going to be the front Oh, Jolene, you're so lucky to be off tomorrow. I'm so jealous. That sounds amazing. I hope you have something fun planned. Okay, so this piece of garden green is 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. Then I have 5 1/4 by 1 1/2, and then I have 5 1/4 by 3/4. So these 3 pieces are going to make our mechanism, and we're going to do a little something special with each of them, okay? So this one, I wanted something, you need something to slide, right? So I found this little cutout die, and you're probably wondering where I got that from. And let me see, I'm sure I have it here, but I didn't pull it. Okay, that came from the beautiful butterfly dies. Remember when we used these dies to make the butterfly cards? So this is the die right here. I just ran it through the die cutting machine, okay? And I have it a little bit down and off to the side. You can kind of see where it's placed here. Now, if you get the kit, I will have die cut this for you because I don't expect you to have these dies in addition to the other set that you need to make the cards, right? So that is die cut. That is our outside, all right? Now we're going to take dies from the kit. I'm going to pull this out and show you. There's this cute little grass die, right? So we're just going to take it and die cut the top. I'm doing it with the Stampin' Up words upside down. And I'm just going to go from one side to the next all the way to the top like this. And I'm going to die cut it. And then I'm going to run it through a second time. Now, since it's in your kit, you can die cut this piece yourself if you got the kit, right? So what that's going to end up looking like after you do it is just like this. All right, so that is going to be our top piece for the mechanism. Okay, next piece. We're going to have this, which is going to be the background. So as you can see, I have right here, I did a little bit of die cutting and did some tire tracks. So what we want to do is we're going to line this up. So we're going to put one piece right on top of the other piece and see where it goes. Okay, then I'm just going to take a little pencil mark and I'm just going to mark a little bit where I am at the end and a little bit on the top and bottom just for reference. Okay, so you can kind of see where I marked that. Now I'm going to take this die, which is the tire track die, and I'm just going to run it through my die cutting machine, and I just want to make sure that it's going to cover the area where it should be. So top and bottom, I have the marks into the side, okay? So I'm going to die cut it right about here, all right? So this is how it came out when I die cut it. You can see just like that. So this is going to be our top part. I'm sorry, our bottom part underneath, all right? So if I line them up, you're going to see how they come out like that, okay? Just like that. So I also wanted it to look like kind of dirty or muddy, so I have a piece of basic black cardstock, and it's just 3 by 1 inch, and we're going to glue it to the back of here just so we have our tire tracks, all right? So let's do that. I'm just going to kind of go right across with my adhesive and put this piece down right here. No one's going to see it. This is going to be in the back. This is going to be the part that's attached directly to the card right here. Okay, just like that. Okay, now we can start building. So I've got this piece and this piece. I still have this piece left, which is going to be the part that slides in for our happy birthday. All right, so let's get some, I didn't pull it out either, or did I? Oh, I did, of our adhesive strips. So just same way like that we do a shaker card, I am just going to place some strips on the top and the bottom of where we're going to slide things. Let's find a pair of scissors here. And this is going to be kind of a little channel that we're going to slide things through. Okay, so I'm just going to lightly set this down. I want it on either side of the tire track and see how my 3/4 inch fits in there for sliding. And I need to come up just a little bit with this piece right here. I want it to be snug, you know, so it's not wobbling back and forth, but not tight because I want it to slide easily. So let me put that a little bit higher and see if I'm going to be able to slide back and forth. Perfect. See how easily that slides? So that is absolutely perfect. Okay. Now it looks like I just need a little bit more to kind of come to the end. So I'm going to put just a little bit more right here. Doesn't have to go all the way to the end. Now I need a little stopper. So I'm going to put a piece right here because I want it to stop. Okay. Now, the rest is just whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to put a piece right here. I just want to give a little bit more so it sits on the card nicely, and I'm just going to put a strip across here too. You don't have to do this part, but I think it just helps it keep it more stable. Okay, there we go. That's kind of what we've got there. Double check again to make sure that this is going to go in here and slide nicely. All right, there we go. That looks pretty good. Now at this point too, we can decide how much we want sticking out the end because we have the stopper there. So I'm just going to cut it off right about here. Okay, next, let us take off our adhesive on all of our strips. I haven't really done a slider card before, but obviously they're fun, right? We like to do fun stuff. Okay, now I can place this piece on top of that piece. And this is the tricky part to line it up, right? So, especially when everything's all sticky and tricky. Okay. Whoa, did you see what I did? That's not gonna work. So my tire tracks aren't lined up exactly. So I'm gonna go a little bit lower and it's not gonna make a difference. Let me just pull this up. I probably should have had my tire tracks maybe up a little bit. So hold on, let me get this part off. All right, where's make sure I don't have a wrinkle here. Let me get rid of my little wrinkle that I made. No wrinkles. Okay, let me try lining it up again. And if it goes down a little bit more, it's fine as long as it doesn't show at the top. But I want it over just a little bit more. Hold on, third time's a charm, right? Make sure that's lined up at the end. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, I've got a little bit of white showing. I'm just gonna tuck that in a little bit. Make sure it's nice and tucked in so you can't really see it. There's always a way to fix everything, right? And I don't really mind the little bit of green in the background. I don't think it looks bad to have it like that. All right, so there we go. Now, let's just put this in. There we go. Looks good, right? Now, we're gonna mark again. And I'm just going to mark it right here because I got to figure out where I want to stamp my happy birthday. All right, let's get that out. I'm going to stamp it in Memento Black in my homemade stamp pad. So the happy birthday, where did I get that from? Sweet Jar. Okay, find any random sentiment that you want. If you want a happy birthday, I thought this was a good one. I'm sure everybody has a bunch of happy birthdays that they could find from other sets. I chose Sweet Jar. Did you guys see the new, I've got to adjust this because it's bothering me that it's crooked. The new, for those of you who are demonstrators, the new add-on for Sweet Jar, there's another stamp set that coordinates, which has like little gingerbread in it and stuff. It's like kind of Christmassy. It's really cute. So I ordered that too. I was excited about that. So that's where I got my happy birthday from. All right, let's get that inked up. And I want it right about where my mark is. And maybe just a little bit to the left of my mark. Let me make sure I'm straight. I don't want it too far over because I want to make sure that it's not going to be too covered up. Okay. You can see it there. Good. Now I'm going to erase this little pencil mark. All right, let me find my eraser. Get rid of that. Nobody wants to see that. Okay. Now, lastly, if you want to, on my little piece, you can see I made the edge just a little bit fancy there. So what I used for that is I have a punch. It's this punch. You may or may not have this punch. I liked it because it has that little design there. So you can just, you don't want to slide the whole thing in because you'll punch twice, but just slide it in here. And then you have a nice little design if you want to use that. There's other things you could do. If you guys have this punch, this is still for sale in the store. You have the happy labels. Oh, look at dust. Guess I haven't used that in a while, right? To make it a little bit fancier. So I think I'm going to use that one. I'm going to use the one that's kind of, I don't know, what would you say, scallopy? So let me pull it back, and I'm just going to use that one. You could leave it plain. That's fine too. You could put a little hole in it right here and just tie a little piece of ribbon, whatever you want to do. Okay, so that's in. There we go. That looks pretty good, right? Let's put it on the front of our card. Then we have some other work to do. We've got some stamping and coloring to do. So let me again make sure this gets lined up straight. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Okay, let's take our piece of 5 1/4 by 4 and let's do a little bit of stamping. We need a camper. So we have this cute little camper stamp. And I'm going to do it this way on here. Perfect, except for the part where I just stuck my fingers in the black. And then we're going to do some trees. So there's a couple of trees that come in this stamp set. And we're going to do those in garden green as well. I mounted both of the trees onto one block just because I thought it was easier, and I felt like I was always going to stamp 2 at a time. So we actually need 3 sets. How are we going to fit 3 sets on here? I didn't plan this very well. So there's 1. Let's try this way. That's 2. And I may have to take them off the blocks to stamp the other ones. So let's do 1 here. And then the last one here. Okay, we fit it all on somehow. All right. So we have 3 tall trees and 3 of a little bit shorter trees. Okay, let's color. So I'm going to bring in some blends. And I kind of wanted to stick with the colors that are kind of in the background. So I'm going to start with Blueberry Bushel. I've got dark and light. And I'm just going to start by kind of outlining the top of this. And then follow through with the light. So you guys, I won't be live next week again. I'm so sorry. I'm doing so much traveling right now. I'm going to Chicago. So I won't be home. I think I land at on Tuesday at 1 in the morning or something. So I have to go to work the next day. So there's absolutely no way I can work all day and do a live. Plus I haven't made a class up yet. So there's that too. And I'm definitely not going to have time the rest of this week because I have to pack on Wednesday and Thursday since I'm leaving Friday. So I won't be here next week, and then the week after that, I'm going to be here on a Monday at 7 because I have a team meeting on Tuesday to go to, and Wednesday I've got a work meeting. So Monday was the day that we have to do it. So that's my next live. I can't remember what the date is, but it's not this upcoming Monday, but then one day after that. And I think we're going to do the calendar class because it's time for the 3rd quarter calendar class. So that's always fun. I'm excited about that. I've got some ideas. I have some ideas. Okay, so coloring, a lot of coloring, because I think we're doing 3 of these campers. I've pre-colored, so this is, you know, I'll just kind of show you this one and then tell you what colors I've used in the other ones, so you don't have to watch me color 3 campers tonight. All right, I'm just gonna make a little bit darker right here. Any place else you want to shade, you can just kind of do it with the light again. All right, then I'm gonna take the dark and I'm gonna do every third in the dark. What would you call this? The little canopy maybe on the camper. Are any of you guys campers? I love this set. I think it's so cute, but I'm not a camper. Yeah, no camping. I like hotels. I always used to say I don't want to camp because it's just going to another place to clean and cook. And I wasn't a fan. But it's probably fun. I mean, I'm not knocking it. It's probably a lot of fun. Fresh freesia I'm using. Ugh, you know what? My fresh freesia's been doing this. Do you guys ever have this happen? And I just bought a new set. Let me break those out. Because it was doing that and kind of making me crazy. I'll save it. I'm not going to throw that away because sometimes when I'm doing splatter, I like to use my older markers so I don't ruin the newer ones, the tips. So I've got light fresh freesia here. So, I mean, I love being outside. I just don't know about camping. I suppose if you had a camper, that would be really nice, right? Tents? No. That's a hard no for me. All right, light fresh freesia. Every third one on here too. Then I'm going to use the dark fresh freesia for the other ones. I don't think camping in Texas is a good idea because first of all, it's hot, like hot in Texas. And second of all, you know, there's things that can, oh, thank you, Jolene. The 23rd will be the next one. There's things here that can kill you, you know, like, I mean, a scorpion's probably not going to kill you, but rattlesnakes, other snakes. I don't think you could talk me into camping in Texas. Maybe in the winter when it's, you know, in the 60s or something. So I'm going to get out some smoky slate just to kind of make things look a little, I like to do my windows in smoky slate. So I'm going to do the windows, all of them. We've got 3 of them here. And kind of the bumpers here. And then I'm going to do the rims of the wheels of the tires, and then I'm going to do this little step, okay, in the light. So we've got that. I'm just going to take the dark and just fill in the inside right here. Dark smoky slate. Okay, then I'm going to take the basic black, and this is the light basic black. Now you can use any black you want. It doesn't have to be a blend. I mean, it could be a Sharpie. It could be, remember the black flare markers? It could be one of those. Any black marker will do. Okay, we're just about done with our camper. Then we're going to do some die cutting and get all these pieces cut out. You're going to have to run it through 3 times because you can only cut out 2 of the trees at a time. Okay? Let me just show you what we've got. We've got our 2 tree dies right here and our cute little camper die right here. Run it through your die cutting machine. Jolene says she feels safer with mosquitoes. Yes, my husband is a mosquito magnet. So I don't think he would enjoy camping either. Okay. Here are our pieces cut out. So we've got our camper, we've got our 6 trees, and we're ready just to finish putting everything together once I get some more ink off my fingers. Okay, last piece of stamping. Hi, Barb. We're just gonna do Let the Adventure Begin. We're gonna do it in basic black right on the inside. These are cute little sentiments, aren't they? Let the adventure begin. Let the shenanigans begin. I think I stamped that crooked, and I did it on my first card too. I don't know why I can't stamp this one right. Let me just look and see. Let's see, is it crooked on my block? Maybe a little bit. Let's try it again. I'm going to pull it down so I have some lines to work with here. Still a little crooked. I don't know. I give up. All right, let's put our other little piece of DSP over here. Sky Up. All right. Now we're also going to take one of the trees, one of the small trees, and put it in there just to make it look even cuter. So let's see. Tall, small, tall, tall. Okay. And I'm just going to use a little of seal adhesive and just kind of put it down there. Make sure it's kind of straight. Okay. There's our inside. Let's finish building our outside. Okay, let's put our trees in first. These are kind of going to go behind here. So I'm just going to start with the two tall ones, maybe make them a little bit different heights. We'll get a short one in there. And put that one a little bit kind of behind. All right, so let's put our last two on the other side. Super easy, right? Okay, there we go. There's our cute little scene. All right, now we're going to attach our camper. And what we want to do is use dimensionals. And we are going to double up on them because we already have one height with dimensional. So I'm just going to double up on them. I always like to put, what am I going to say here? Two dimensionals. I mean, you could just put one dimensional and make it double. But I feel like you always have more stability from things rocking if you use two dimensionals behind something. So we're going to use two and we'll make them double height. If I can get my fingers to cooperate. I can't believe how full of ink I am already. Crazy. All right. Now let's kind of put our camper right here. Fits perfectly, right? We've got our happy birthday. There we go. There's our cute little mechanism. The only thing we have left to do now, and you don't want this to go too far over. I might want to trim this just a little bit more, and I can just, you know, because it still has to fit in the envelope, right? So you want to make sure it doesn't extend too far beyond this card. This is probably borderline. It might just fit in there okay into the envelope. Okay. Now, I could have used that stamp that I really, really wanted to use and didn't use to put the little moon and some stars up here, right? But I didn't want to get carried away. I am going to take some of these beautiful iridescent faceted gems because I feel like they kind of look like stars a little bit. So let's put some of those up in the sky. I'm just going to use some of the little ones. So we'll put 1, 2, 3 of those. They're kind of star-like and sparkly, so I thought that would be good. You can kind of see those up close there. And then I felt like this part right here looked just a little bit plain. I probably could have put my camper over just a tiny bit more. You know, pull this out just a little, camper over a little, and trim this off a little. But anyway, I felt it looked just a little bit plain right here. So what I decided to do was just take some of the little rhinestones, just our normal basic rhinestone jewels, just add a little bit of blueberry bushel to them, and then just put 3 of them lined up there. Just coloring them. Don't you love how these take the color? You can make them any color you want, and boom, you have automatic matching rhinestones, which I love. So I'm just going to line 3 of these up just to add just a little extra to this. Make it just a little fancier. Make sure they're kind of lined up right. Okay, I think we're done, you guys. What do you think? Pretty fun, right? Cute little camper. All right, I hope you guys like this first card. All right, let's move on to the next card. All right, so slider card, that was one technique. The next one we're going to do is work on this retirement card. So thank you guys. So this one, like I said, I'm going to bring in another set. Okay, so let me move some things aside here. So this is the Scenic Adventure set. And I really, really like this one. It's got some great sentiments, which I don't think I used any of the sentiments from this set, but I did use a couple of the stamps for the trees and the water that we're going to use on this one. Okay, but this is fun. This I love, like I like nature and backgrounds and all that stuff. So we're going to use these different dies. I'll keep them handy so I can show you. The Happy Retirement. I wanted a retirement card. You could do birthday cards, you could do whatever, but I was specifically looking for retirement. And if you guys remember when we did the sunrise sailing, that had a great Happy Retirement stamp. So that's where I got that stamp. Again, use any sentiment that you like. Now, if you get the kit this week, again, all I need you to have is the Adventure Together set. So all these things right here, I'm going to die cut for you. So you don't have to have this other set that I just showed you, right? Because who needs to have two sets just to make some cards, right? So get the pre-cut kit and you'll be all set. All right, so let's start at the beginning here. Blueberry bushel again. And you guys, am I out of my comfort zone tonight or what? We're not doing pink and orange. I'm doing blue. That's crazy. Blueberry bushel, card base again. There we go. 5 1/4 by 4. This is going to be for the inside. We'll come back to that. Our first layer is going to be, and we'll just start building on this layer, but it's going to get glued to here eventually, right? So this is 5 1/4 by 4. Again, using that same Everyday Skies Designer Series paper. So I have this piece cut out, and we're just going to build our whole scene right on this piece right here. Okay. There's 2 mountain dies, all right? So you have this kind of bigger one and the smaller one. What I decided to use for the paper was from, do you guys remember our Country Lace DSP? And I just thought this gray kind of spotty background just seemed perfect, I don't know, for a mountain. So I used that. You can see the other side of this one. That's the pattern on the other side. So I just took some of this gray paper and I used the dies and cut out our 2 mountains. All right. And so the paper that I started with for these were 4 inches by 3 inches and 2 inches by 2 inches. And then just cut across the top with the die. So let's put that down. And I may add a little bit extra where you can see when you die cut it, it gets these nice embossed layers, but they come, excuse me, a little bit loose. So we want our mountain just right here around where the clouds are. All right, so we've got that one. We're going to add a second layer of mountain right over here. So right about like that, okay? So you can see what we've got here. You know what, I'm gonna bring that one down lower. I think I want this lower. I'm gonna bring it like right here. Okay, let me show you up close what we've got. So we've got our 2 kind of mountain things right there. All right, next. I took a piece of Mossy Meadow, 4 inches by 2 inches. Everything's 4 inches because we've got 4 inches across to work here, right? And I used this die right here, which is the trees. And I die cut this. Now, the tricky thing about this one is that this die, if you put it on straight, the trees are like crooked. and I kind of wanted my trees to be upright. I think in the Stampin' Up example, they did have their trees on an angle, which, okay, that's cute. But, you know, I wanted my trees to kind of be straight. So, so again, I just cut off the top with the die. And now we've got some trees, so that's going to be our next layer. And we'll just line this up. Maybe a little bit higher. Again, I don't want to run out of room here. Okay, my trees are just a little bit crooked, but I think it's still okay. All right, next layer. I went with Old Olive, and I cut this one 4 by 3. And then I took this die right here. It's not much of a die, right? But it does a good job. And I just, on my 4 by 3, I cut it near the top. And you can see how I just sent it right through there. Okay, so we have another layer. And this is going to be like kind of our grassy foreground here. And I'm not going to put this one down quite yet, but you can see where I kind of want to put it, right there. And then we're going to have our scene right here. But I want a little water. I wanted a little bit of lake at the bottom. So that piece, I'm using some Balmy Blue. And this piece of Balmy Blue, let me see, where is it? Where is it? Did I put it in? I'm not sure I put it in. Please hold. I need to write that in before I send that out tomorrow. Balmy Blue. Okay. So this piece looks like it's 4 inches, just like all the other pieces, and it is 1 1/4. All right. But I'm going to take my Azure Afternoon, and we're going to take that little water stamp, and we're going to turn this into a little bit of water. Okay. So, where are you? Right there. Okay, you can kind of just see the lines. So I'm just going to start like right here, and I'm just going to add lines across the whole thing. And I think I'm going to flip this upside down for the wavy part right here, just to make it just a little bit different. And then the last line, I'm going to go with the straight part down again. Okay, this is what we've got now. Can you see our little waves in the water? Isn't that pretty? I love that. They're so smart at Stampin' Up. Such cute things they do. All right, so I'm going to have my lake down at the very bottom, right here. And I can go ahead and I'm just going to put that down right now. And then I just need to cut a little bit of my green right here, so I have my little lake scene. Okay, I probably could have went up a little bit higher on the trees here for the mountain. I want to make sure I have enough room with the green, so I'm actually gonna see if I can lift these a little bit and bring them up just a little bit. That's what I love about using the seal. If I would have put that down with regular glue, man, it would be stuck. I'm gonna go a little bit higher. Okay, this is gonna go here. Perfect. I'm just going to do a little bit of wavy cutting right here, just like that. All right. Now I'm going to put this last piece down, and there we've got our little bit of lake. That's like our whole scene now. Yeah, Jolene, don't you love this set? It's just so cute. I mean, okay. Now, I just want to check to make sure. I can see there's a little hanging off here. So I'm just going to do a little bit of trimming. I want everything to look nice and neat and even. I didn't do a perfect job of gluing, but again, that's something that's fixable. Okay, there is our background. Cool, right? Next, I have Happy Retirement. So I have a little, this is Stylish Shapes dies. I'm going to do it in Mossy Meadow and just stamp the Happy Retirement. And this barely fits on here, just so you know. It's going to be a little bit tight. Okay, there's our sentiment. Good. The other thing is I also die cut out of that same set these trees that are attached together. I'm just going to put these up here, and I'm actually going to pop those up. But let's get the rest of our elements together. So I have this little scrap you're going to get to do your stamping and coloring. Now you can see the chairs are going 2 different directions. So what are we going to do? We're going to mirror stamp because our stamp is only this direction, okay? So let's start by doing that one first. I'm going to get out my silicone mat. Oh, hi, Lisa. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to get my chair, and we're going to do a little mirror stamping. So I'm going to get the black again. And I'm going to stamp directly onto my silicone mat. Then I'm going to take my piece of cardstock. I probably put that too close to the edge. And just rub it on. We might have to do this more than once. We'll see. My nails, come on, pick it up. That looks pretty good, right? There we go, mirror stamping. This is the Adventure Together camper set, Lisa. So there we go. Now we have one going that way, and then we can stamp the other one regular. Mirror stamping's fun, right? The tricky part is die cutting it out if you're going to use die cuts. All right, so now we have our 2 chairs facing opposite directions. We're going to get our little campfire, and we've got that too. Okay, let's color those up. The chairs are easy. Now, the reason we want to use the die cut is because it cuts out these little chair, like the holes in the chairs. You can see how there's little holes in the chairs. Well, good luck cutting that with scissors, right? So we're going to do that. All right, so I'm just, again, to kind of coordinate with everything, I'm just using back to my light blueberry bushel, okay? So I'm just going to color in the chairs, and I'm going to do a couple layers on the outside of the chairs, just kind of some shading with just the light. Now, doing the die cutting backwards can be a little bit tricky, right? But we're going to do it. All right, let's do the other one. I don't know. I couldn't decide at first what colored chairs I should make, but I think I like the blue. I think they're good. Let me just darken up the edges a little bit. Now I hear dogs barking. Something's going on in the neighborhood. Probably somebody has the nerve to walk past our house. Oh my goodness. Okay, smoky slate for the little fireplace part. I feel like I need some new smoky slate too, because my light is very, very light. It's probably getting old now. Hey, do you guys know this is my 150th video today? I can't believe I've done 150 videos. That's crazy. And it might have been a little bit more because I think I erased some of them because, you know how it is when you first get started. So yeah, 150. All right, taking a little bit of pumpkin pie just to kind of add a little bit of orange to our flame, and then some Daffodil Delight. It looks like my, are you guys still there? It looks like my thing is spinning on my iPad for some reason, but it looks fine on my phone, so I don't know. Hopefully we're still going strong here. All right, let's blend that orange in a little bit. Okay, then we're going to die cut. Okay, so here's the trick for die cutting the other side. Are you guys still there? I think we're still going. Okay. All right, so stamps, or I'm sorry, die cut. Cute little one for the fireplace. Here's the one for the chairs. All right, so the chair one, this side is easy, right? You just line it up and cut out your chair. This one, you got to cut from the back, so it's a little bit trickier. So what I'm going to do, there's two things that are helpful with this. So first of all, I'm going to cut, okay, thanks for letting me know you're still there. I'm going to cut like really wide, just an outline on this chair. And that'll kind of, if I can keep my outline kind of even going around the chair, that's going to help be somewhat of a guide when I flip it over to use the die cut, right? So I've got that. The other thing that's super helpful is that when you use the blends, they bleed through to the back. So look at that. Okay, so now I'm going to be able to just line it up. You can see the dark blue, how that's going to get lined up. And you can see how I kind of rough outlined it. So I'm going to get pretty close with this when I die cut it out. Okay, so we kind of have a little bit of a guide, and just run it through your die cutting machine like that. All right, so let me get our pieces here. Here's our little campfire, and here are our two chairs facing opposite directions. Okay, let's finish putting this card together. So we're going to basically pop everything up that we still have remaining. So let me just flip everything over, and we'll just start getting some dimensionals on. All right, still going. Put our happy retirement right about here. The chairs, I'm going to put, like I said, I like to have two, so I'm going to see if I can somehow squeeze two on here, and that may mean using a couple of minis. So we've got our chairs. I think one should do for our campfire. And then the trees, so the trees are a little trickier. I'm going to put some big ones where I can, first of all. And there's some holes in the trees, so I don't want to put dimensionals over the holes and have white showing through. And let me finish poking out these little holes. And then I'm going to use some little minis to finish that up. So I'll put one here. You don't have to pop these trees up. I just thought it kind of added a little bit of something to it. I mean, you could just do these flat too. It's not that big of a deal. Whoa. And I didn't even put anything on these little stems. You could get really crazy and cut a little edge off of here. But I was just like, no. It'll be fine. Our trees will be just fine. So let me start getting everything off of here. Trees right here. We'll start by putting the campfire down. Did we do the inside yet? I can't remember if we did the inside yet. I don't think we did. Sometimes I do the inside first. We'll put our campfire here, and then we'll put our chairs around the campfire. One right here. One right here. Okay. We did not do anything with the inside yet. All right, let's glue this down. I did not use any ribbon or embellishment on this. I just felt like the layers were plenty to decorate this card with, and there was enough on this card already just the way it is. I don't feel like it really needs anything else on here. Okay, so for the inside, what are we going to stamp? Let the Adventure Begin. Again, this time I'm going to do it in Azure, and we're going to stamp a couple of those trees in Mossy Meadow. All right, so let me get out this stuff. I'm going to have to clean my stamp that says Let the Adventure Begin. Look how dirty it is. My goodness. I don't want that in our Azure stamp pad. All right, and let's do a couple of trees. So these trees are from the second stamp set, okay? From the, not Adventure Together, Scenic Adventure. But you could stamp the other trees if you wanted to from the first stamp set. Doesn't matter, trees are trees, right? You could easily stamp those, just do them in Mossy Meadow to kind of stick with the colors of our card. All right, pretty easy for the inside, right? All right, you guys, that's it. Card number 2. We've got a nice retirement card for somebody. Or it could be a happy birthday card. Anything you want. Fun. Okay, next card. This one is kind of close to the other one. Oh, Lisa, thank you so much. So we're just going to do, hold on. I seem to be having trouble with ink. We're doing kind of a same scene, but we're doing it with the arches this time. Okay. So this is our next card. We're doing a little more of the gray. We're doing a little paper piecing as well. All right, hold on. I got to get off. I'm sitting on my legs. Got to change positions. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're adding the everyday arches. So we're going to use those in this card. I am using this Forever Plaid embossing folder. And here's our pieces. So again, because you only need to have the one set, I'm doing some of this for you already, okay? So I'm using a basic card base, but I'm also using a 5 1/4 by 4 of a sheet to go over it, because what I found is if I just cut and embossed just this by itself without the extra layer, because we've got a big hole, it was a little bit flimsy. So I wanted an extra layer. So I kind of did it this way, okay? So what we need to know, we're going to take these dies, take your card base, and you can do this several different ways, all right? So what I did on this last one was I glued the 5 1/4 by 4 piece of blueberry bushel. So I have my 2 layers stuck together, and then I went and took the dies. Now the 2 dies we're using are these 2 right here. So it's 1, 2, 3. It's number 4 and 5 from that. I'm using the smaller one on the outside of the card, the larger one on the inside. So what I did then was, after I put this together, first cut, always cut first, because if you cut afterwards, then it kind of flattens your embossing, okay? So I cut it out. Then I took the embossing folder, and if I can open it, I just lined it up this way, right up to the edge, and then I ran it through, okay? Just like that. So I got embossing. Now, the downside of doing it this way is, well, first of all, I didn't go all the way to the edge. I should have went a little bit over. That it kind of, you can't really see the edges where this is. It's embossed the whole thing, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I should have just went maybe a little bit more to the side here. But the other thing you could do is cut them both separately, emboss this piece, and then glue it on, right? And just, you would have to trace it to make sure you're cutting it in the right place. That just seemed like more steps to me, so that's why I didn't do it. If you get the kit this week, I will be sending it like this, all right? Already embossed for you and already cut for you, okay? So we've got that. That's going to be the outside of our card. Now, for the inside, what I did was I just, and if you get the kit, it's going to come just like this. I've already embossed it, put it together, and cut out the arch, okay? Making it easy for everybody this week if you want to make these cards. So I took another piece of the Everyday Skies. I cut out, this is basic gray, and going back to old olive, the same dies we used on the last one for the mountain and kind of this grass in front. I glued them on, and then once they were glued on, I took this die and die cut. So now I have this nice arched shape, all put together with stitching around the entire edge. Okay, easy, right? Okay, this is going to be for the inside. So we're going to have this 5 1/4 by 4 on the inside, and we're going to end up putting our arch on top of it like this. Okay, we're going to have to line everything up. Then we can stamp our sentiment down here. I used Happy Retirement again. You can use whatever you want. Let me put some of this stuff away. I feel like I'm on the verge of losing some dies tonight because I'm being a little bit messy. Okay, so let's stamp something on the bottom. All right, let's see. Happy Retirement. I'm using the same color ink, so I don't have to clean it off. Let me move it up just so I'm going to put it at the bottom, right there. All right, we've got that. We're going to have, now this little piece right here comes in your Adventure Together die set, and it's perfect for the Let the Adventure Begin. It's just like the perfect size. I guess it's a hexagon, right? So let's stamp that, Let the Adventure Begin. All right. Now, these last two pieces, we're gonna stamp a camper again. If I can find the camper. So you just have a little bit of a scrap of white that you're gonna stamp in color. And then you also have this little like 1 by 2 inch piece of silver. And there's the little camper door. So you're gonna die cut a camper door and these 2 little wheel covers. All right, so die cut those out of silver. All right, so now the way I colored the camper this time was, let me get actually out the camper so you can see it. Okay, so I used smoky slate, dark smoky slate. I used a little bit more of the light blueberry bushel right here. For this green part, oh, did we do the green part in the first card? I don't remember using green. I don't think I colored, oh, I guess I did. I just don't remember. Any green will do. I think on this one, I used a little bit of shaded spruce. I think I used shaded spruce for all mine tonight. All right. And then the light smoky slate here and here. All right. So I just kept it very neutral, kind of gray and silverish, right? With a little bit of blue accents. So then I took my little pieces. I took my little door and I just glued it where the door goes, just like that. Same thing with the little wheels, glued them on here and here. All right, so our little camper is all ready to go. All right, let's finish putting it together. So first thing, this piece is gonna go on the inside, like this. Just lined right up, even edges all around. Okay, this piece we want it to go here, but we wanted to make sure that it's going to be lined up right. Okay, this is a little bit trickier, so I'm going to add my adhesive. I'm going to put it on this side, but I want to see it from this side to make sure it's covered because it's pretty close fit, right? So I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to close the card and set it down. And before I put it too tight, you can see it ended up just a little bit crooked. So I'm going to make a little bit of adjustment before I press it down hard. All right. And let's see, how's that looking? Perfect. All right, let's press it down. There we go. There's the inside. Okay, I think that's pretty straight. Okay, let's do Let the Adventure Begin, and we're going to pop that up here and here. That's going to go right up here. Oh, you know what I didn't do? All right, so that Sunrise Sailing stamp set that we were just talking about a few minutes ago, what did I do with it? Hold on, it's here. That I used the Happy Retirement from also has like the little bird stamp. So I wanted to stamp a couple of birds here. So let's do that. I thought it just added a little bit of something. This still doesn't look, does that look a little crooked to you? I feel like that looks a little bit crooked. We're going to lift that up a little and just, not to be super ultra picky, but you know, I am super ultra picky. Okay, let's stamp some birds. Okay, there we go. All right, we're going to put our camper up with some dimensionals. So let's add maybe 3 dimensionals here. And we'll put our camper here. All right, so I thought for embellishing, I would use some of these beautiful flat dots. So these are 2025 to 2027. That would be the new in color flat pearls. And so I'm going to use this one. What is the name of this color, you guys? Wait, don't tell me. Secret Sea? Is that? They don't look very Secret Sea, but they are gorgeous. I mean, the shine on these are just, it's beautiful. It's almost an iridescent. And these are very flat. I'm going to use a small, medium, and a large. Just put one there. And these are absolutely gorgeous. I love these. They're so pretty. Okay, now I think this card is done. So we've got this one right here. Now the other thing I'm going to tell you is when you open your card, if this bothers you right here, maybe you don't like seeing that when you open the card. We know how to mirror stamp now, right? We've done it. You can mirror stamp and cut out a camper, which is what I did here. And then you can add that to the inside, which is kind of fun because it's going the other way after you open the card, right? So I'm going to add a little bit here and put my camper, my mirror camper on the inside, same way. So there you go. All right. That was card number 3. All right, last project, you guys. We're going to do this one right here. This is so easy, so simple, so fast. But I think it's a good one. So, little suitcase boxes. Have you guys used these? I love the boxes that Stampin' Up! Has that they just, you know, they pretty much make themselves here. And then the pieces. So if you order this week, like I said, you get all the stuff to make the cards. I'm going to send you one of these boxes. I'll send you all the stuff to make it. And I'm also going to send you the treat that's going inside. So let's make our box and then we'll put our treat inside. So I'm just going over all these different lines. Lots of folds. Super easy though. All right, so we're going to start with the sides. And these just get folded over and tucked. No glue required, nothing. Easy breezy. Fold it up. Boom, we've got a box. Okay, so we've got our suitcase box. Now, what are we putting inside? We've got these awesome s'mores treats. So I got these at the grocery store. I've also gotten them on Amazon. They're Choco Biscuits. So you have like the cookie part, you have the chocolate part, right? So what's missing to make s'mores are marshmallows. And so on Amazon, I ordered these. It's called the s'mores kit, but really it's just marshmallows. And it's like Cookie Plus, I think it's called, or something. But I love them because they're square and they're individually wrapped, which is perfect if you're going to make some of these boxes for people, right? So now we've got our little s'mores kit inside here, right? And we can seal it up. So this goes like this. Tuck these in. This goes like this. Okay, come on, get in there. Ugh. Why won't it go? There we go. Perfect. And then just fold the handle up. All right. There we go. Suitcase. This is going to be the front part of it. And that's going to be the back. Whoops. Sorry, I was trying to read. For some reason, my iPad's frozen. But anyway, there we go. So now what are we going to do on this? Super easy. We are going to take this quarter sheet of cardstock. We're going to stamp 2 trees and a camper. All right, super easy. We're going to color them. So just like we did before, this time I used a little bit of pink and yellow and orange. Well, I couldn't resist, right? I couldn't do the whole class in blue. So that's what how I colored this camper. The same trees, again, garden green, use those. I've got a couple of pieces for our box. So this is kind of our background for the box right here. This is Night of Navy, and this is 3.5 by 2 3/4, Night of Navy. The last piece of our DSP that we've been using, just like kind of some stars here. And this is 2.5 by 3 1/4. All right. So that's our first layer. We're going to take this piece of garden green, and this is 3 1/4 by 1 1/2. We're going to take our little grass die and die cut across the top again. So we end up with our grass that looks like this. And that'll be our next layer on our ground. And that just lines right up to the edges. There we go. There's our little background. You can see what we got. All right. We've got this little label, and this is from the same set. It die cuts this label, which is perfect for the other sentiment, which says Happy Campers, that we're going to do in garden green. Again, super tight. Let's see if we can get this on this little thing. Good. Okay, let's put our trees down. Now, I made something, it was pretty similar to this, right? When I went to On Stage this year, and I did the Happy Campers with the scalloped gift box, right? But that's gone now, it's sold out. But I also I had a little fire here. But this is a smaller, you can see how this is smaller than that one was. So I didn't put the fire on this one. So that's where I got the idea for that. And I also want to say that, you know, we do a lot of paper piecing in our projects. But the first time I saw it, I have this card that I made at a team meeting at Erica's house that she designed. And this is her card, which is just adorable. And she got to use that really fun thing, right? But she did the paper piecing with the silver, which I thought was just awesome. So that's where I got the idea for the silver. All right. Okay, let's just put our Happy Campers down. We'll put this right up here. Crooked, of course. All right, we'll pop this up. Lisa, I couldn't read your whole comment. I'm waiting to see. So, hold on, let me see if I can get my, update my iPad here for the comments. It seems to not want to give me them, so I couldn't read your whole comment, but I will as soon as I'm able. I'm afraid to press anything on my phone because I don't want to cut out. All right, so I'm just going to move this. You can't really see the other tree, right? Let's move that over a little. Maybe right here. Okay, let's attach that to our box. Let me see. Nope. Still spinning. All right, this fits on perfectly there. So there's our little box with our s'mores treat. And then I thought it'd be fun. Now this is Last Chance, this ribbon. We've had this for a couple years. It was one of my favorites. And it's Night of Navy, and it has some gold flecks in it. Little gold glitter. It's glittered. It's like a sheer glittered ribbon. And Night of Navy with gold glitter. So we're just going to tie a bow. It's kind of a stiff ribbon, not super, super easy to tie, but but very beautiful. And navy's such a classic color to use. You can use it with so many things. Okay, we've got a big bow, which is fine. All right, so we're just going to glue dot that to the top. And, you know, I could have tied it around here, but when they open the box, this is going to go back through. And so I didn't want them to have to, I don't want someone to have to untie it to get the treat inside. So that's why I put the bow right in front of it. So you don't have to untie anything. You can just open it up. All right, and I thought it looked cute like that too. All right, you guys, that's it. We made it through all our projects. I hope you guys like the projects. If you would like the class this week, spend $50 in my online store. I will send you all the pieces for free, including the s'mores treat, right? So that'll be fun. I'll do all the die cutting that I said I would, all the fun things, so you don't have to have all the sets, or you can purchase the kit for $22. So here we go. We've got our little slider card that we made, which I think is super fun. We've got our background retirement card. We've got that one. We have this Let the Adventure Begin card. And then we have our cute little s'mores boxes. Thank you, Lisa. So you guys, thank you for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love stamping with you guys. If you would like the project and measurement sheet, this will be in tomorrow morning's email, and it has all the measurements and pictures of the projects. If you don't want to sign up for my email, that's okay. You can just email me and I'll be happy to send it to you if you would like to have it. All right, again, I won't be back until the 23rd. That's a Monday. Next time I'll be live, we'll be doing our third quarter calendar class. And you guys have a great rest of the week. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. Thanks again for watching. All right. Bye, everybody.